I would beg you, kind viewer, to bear with me with the terrible video. You see, my financial situation is one in which I'm forced to prioritize other issues than getting that camera fixed, but there are pertinent issues developing on this particular corner of the web that I would like to issue some sort of social commentary about and weigh in on the way that I feel about this one. I would acknowledge that the cost, of hosting video content and the bandwidth must be pretty, significant. And, I guess I do feel a bit of sympathy for, the fact that Google is, YouTube has not really been a profitable platform, with the bandwidth cost and considerations weighed in. It's actually hemorrhaging money at this point. But I, I think there's a bigger, elephant in the room that's being ultimately ignored and that really needs to be taken more seriously by Google and YouTube, that has just been sort of, you know, it doesn't seem to me like it's likely that Google has a strong motivation to fix it because it might be, a problem for the ability to scale the platform, which is that they don't do enough to vet their advertisers on, YouTube. There just hasn't been a good enough vetting process. And I know that it's largely a free speech platform, so I know that not all these ads are going to necessarily be politically agreeable to me personally, and I might find some of them objectionable. I'm not, I'm not here to say those people should be vetted. What I am here to say, however, is that it seems to me that the only moral thing to do is to deprive YouTube of that ad revenue until it does something about this particular problem. What am I talking about? Well, malvertising, is a thing and a term that, has showed up in malware bytes, for instance, but it's not just, that this is a problem that exists, in this corner of the web and on YouTube. What you need to understand is just that the level of scamming that's going on, and some of the latest, that are out there have basically utilized, Google's search terms and everything, and AdWords platform or whatever it was, to essentially insert, malware and scamming and scam websites into, the search results. And, this was up just this month, really just a brand new article from October, where it's like a Google malvertising leads to a fake KeyPass site that looks genuine. You know, do you see the problem? Like they're using puny code as far as its encoding, at everything to sneak this little, thing, and it's up in Arcticana, and it's not even just the only time that this has been an issue. This has been a problem with Google for a long time now. Like, I'm not the first person to bring this one forward or to say what I'm trying to say about this. There was also, oh god, I guess you can't see my screen, but yeah, they've got, I've got two links that I'd like to put in the underbar to the video here that you can look up on, from text messages to fraudulent ads, how scammers are draining bank accounts, up in the ABC News Australia. In the 26 years Helen Chalot has kept the books for her small business near the Melbourne airport, she has never had any trouble doing online banking. So on a particularly busy afternoon on May 26th, she sat down at her desk and she thought it was strange it was taking so long to log in. She'd Googled Bandito Bank and clicked on the first link that came up, which was a Google ad for the bank. She then keyed in her login details, including a two-factor authentication PIN. What Miss Callow soon discovered was that she had clicked on a malicious advertising instead of the Bendigo Bank website, and the scammer had gained access to her account. It was probably within 2 minutes that I logged into the Bendigo Bank and realized that $30,000 had been taken from my account. I really felt violated, and I thought, how can that happen? I really feel like I'm a very cautious and careful person when doing banking. Well, they had inserted onto Google as a platform a fake ad up, ahead of the actual bank that she was supposed to go to. They've been doing this, you know, for a long time. There was a symbol in it, and you know, they did everything they possibly could to get their ads up on here. And the thing is that Google is not doing enough to crack down ultimately and vet their advertisers and prevent scam advertising and malvertising from being a prevalent issue on Google and on YouTube. It seems like it is my responsibility, and the rest of us, to do what we can to block these ads as a form of protest and political pressure on Google itself to do something about this, to create the tools to vet their advertisers and keep these kinds of scams off of YouTube and off of Google. And until they do that, I would support the web and the rest of you and everything with blocking these ads. And I'm with you on blocking them. They do not deserve one penny of our advertising dollars until they fix this issue.